What have been your biggest lessons on what it takes to make a marriage work so well? Teach me.
Sure. So it starts with finding the right person, I would say. That's about 98%. You can choose the wrong person and you can do all the right things and it's not going to make for a great marriage. So I would say it's a lot in the selection, the mutual selection that comes from finding the right person. I've just kind of come to believe, all these notions of opposites attract, and I'm not a big believer in that. Neri and I have a lot of commonality on, everything from drive, ambition, what makes us happy, values, thoughts on kids, parents, family, what's important in the world, physical attractions, obviously key. So we're just like super physically, intellectually compatible, and we're if you met her, you would say, okay, she's very different from you, Bill, but in very fundamental ways, we're pretty similar. So I think getting the match right is really, really important. Finding a authentic, super high quality, high integrity, interesting, attractive person, I think is almost, and then beyond that, it's making sure that your daily life doesn't distract you so much you don't have time for each other. And that's a risk when you have two motivated people trying to accomplish a lot.
And yours doesn't? I mean, no offense. It seems from the outside that yours would do.
Well, no, I would say it's the biggest risk. And so we have to constantly make time for each other and find those quiet.
Do you do date night? Do you do Sunday evening walks? What's your thing?
So I think date night is a really important thing, and we need a more official implementation of it. We got married and then we had COVID, and COVID was pretty amazing for marriage. Like, we lived in the same house. She worked upstairs in office. I worked down. We met for lunch. We played with the baby. And at night, we would go on these 4 or 5 mile walks down the beach, even in the winter, with a flashlight. It was a really cool, way to kind of get through COVID. And hopefully this summer we'll go back to that. We've not been doing that in the city, so I miss those kind of late night walks. And there was not much socialization, which is good in that if you spend an enormous amount of time with each other. But when you get back to, city life and, you want to be supportive of the people and you want to see friends and everything else. I think it's a massive time management problem. And so, Neri is building she'd be quite an interesting person for you to talk to. She's building an incredible company, hired, I would say, maybe 17 or 18, brilliant scientists, engineers, roboticists, biologists, and
I think we should do like an all-star Mr. and Mrs. I think that'd be a really fun style of show.
cool. But she's, that's a pretty involved thing. And we've got, an almost 4-year-old child who means everything to, of course, both of us, but it's Neri's only child. So it's tough, but you just have to find time.